My name's Helen, I'm the Diddy Stitcher. My pronouns are she, her. It is Thursday the 30th of March and it's a lovely day. I always forget something when I start filming and I forgot to close the door. Okay, so let's pull a card like we usually do. Last video I pulled the Queen of Cups, all about your intuition and emotional, spiritual awareness. And like I said last video, I see myself in tarot as the Queen of Cups. Currently, you know, things change. But taking that, I've been having like a lot more conversations with people about tarot and like just making it more in the front of my mind. And I just did some readings with my husband this afternoon. Definitely a bit rusty doing a whole like spread and interpreting that for somebody, but still loving it. So pulling a card for us here today, we have the Five of Wands. I feel like we've had this recently. So in the Five of Wands, the figures seem to be in some sort of battle, or is it a game? Whatever they're doing, the spirit of competition is present. This might be a power play or a competitive sport. It's not harmful, instead the vibe here is friendly, maybe even exciting. Although it looks like a fight on the outside, there is playfulness here. Sometimes you need a challenge to grow. Five of Wands says, bring it on. If it's good things you're looking to shake things up, this is good to see if you're looking to shake things up at work. Ready to lay down some new rules, this card indicates the time to do so is now. At times, depending on the other cards involved, this card can indicate a negative competition. For example, if this card were hanging out with the devil, we might see a rival stepping in between you and your partner. So we just pull one card and I get the vibe, or you can get the vibe from that one card. But obviously in a spread, as I've just been doing with my husband, the cards kind of speak to each other, and that was kind of present in the spread that we were doing. They were almost like coupling up as we went along, which was quite fun to see. So you get limited, I guess, direction from one card. But yeah, I like to just kind of see if it if any of what I just read out resonates with you. So let me know if it does. So I've put the card here. If you might not know if you're new, but I've kind of had a change around. So we've moved the bed like 45 degrees. I'm not good with the angles. I said an angle in last week's video and it was completely wrong. I'm trying half a quarter or whatever. Anyway, oh my god, Helen, stop waffling. We've moved the bed onto a different wall. The window used to be on this wall to me. Now it's on that wall to me. So the lighting is different. These things around me are different because I wanted to change up. And I'm going to talk you through them. So everybody's on orientation. So where I've just put the card is my Cosmic Dreams by Barbara Anna, and I wanted her to sit here to hold my card. I was thinking of getting like a little card holder or a little display thing as you can get for your altar or whatever to have your card of the day, but I don't really have anywhere to put it. So it just sits like in the corner of the frame here, and I thought Cosmic Dreams could take care of that for me. I've got my little pin board here that I like to change with the number every video, if you notice or not. It's normally one of the things that I forget to change, and I'm sat here, I'm like, oh, the number is wrong. This one, Making Joy. This is from Cotton Clara. It's an embroidery piece that was part of their Kickstarter campaign, in a little tin. As part of that, this that my ring light is showing on is Relax, Relate, Release from the Shaded Stitchery, Nuri. Behind me now I have my somewhat whittled down needle minders, but also at the minute my sticker chart for Stitch for Pride 2023. So that's gonna sit behind me and we'll look at that when we need to. This is Autumn Leaves by the Prairie Schooler. This is Fuck the Tories. That needed to be like front and centre. From Amy at Hello Treacle. This is a sample piece that I got from Cotton Clara when I was there for their workshop. It just says blah 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 blah. And that's embroidery, and I don't do embroidery, so I'm glad to have a piece of embroidery that I didn't have to do, but I really like it. This is Floss Boss that I showed last video by the Needle and Floss. This is Keep It Simple. I think this was a Hello Treacle piece as well. This is embroidery. I've just done it in satin stitch because I think the fabric panel Amy just put in one of my orders, and I just wanted to stitch it up real quick. This is Move Forward in Love by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's just the middle mandala of that not mandala, medallion of that piece by Jacob. This is the little heart that I did at Cotton and Clara's workshop. And this, you can't really see it, but this is just a fabric panel that should be embroidered on, but I can't be bothered. And it says 2020, we all stayed at home in a little house. These three are from Sapphire Mountain Handcraft Stitching Book Club, Little Women, Great Gatsby, and Sense and Sensibility. Whew. This is kind of my other wall. So this is this big fabric banner that I kind of had, but I haven't put much on it apart from I've obviously got my first of Let's Make a Statement pieces by D's 20 Stitches until we get some more and I can start making it into a banner. But I wanted it to sit there happily on display. It doesn't deserve to go in a cupboard. And then some of my other needle minders that are a bit like my special ones almost. my pretties. I haven't sorted them out into any kind of thing yet, and this is my little magnet board with my whips on. This is a temperature chart that I did for 2019, which is the first full year that we were in this house. And then I've got this random hoop as well, which is another Cotton Clara embroidery fabric piece that I haven't embroidered. I've just stuck in a hoop and it just says Woman Up. And I haven't had a chance to hang that yet because I don't really know where it should go in here. I kind of wanted it to go there, but it doesn't quite fit. And then maybe up there, but maybe I'll save that for more cross stitchy stuff. So it'll just sit up there for now. And then I've got more wall here to kind of go into with other stuff. And then probably most of the things that I'm working on will go elsewhere in the house. But this is the stuff that I wanted to be the background of. I've been filming for a while. I just press play and then I get myself ready, so I don't have to remember to press play, so I'm not sure how long that took. I apologise once again for the waffling. Anyway, I kind of missed it. This is what I'm loving. What I'm loving is my new space. It will be a bit of getting used to. I think I'm sat too far down, but I want to get all of this in, and my lighting situation, I'm not too sure of it right now. But yeah, that's me. And then I've just got a note here to say thank you to Mad Morty, who shouted me out on their channel. If anybody's come over from there, then welcome. Hi. Nice to have you, if you're still here. So, finishes. I haven't had any finishes this past couple of weeks. And then all of my whips, it's been a bit of a weird 2 weeks. I wasn't going to film this week because we're on holiday this week. So I was going to leave it, but then I didn't want to leave it another 2 weeks. And I've been stitching this morning after the baby's been dropped off at nursery and she's out tonight, so I get good stitching time tonight. So I didn't want to stitch on one piece all day, so I've stitched on one piece this morning, and then I'm going to do my whole rotation with my whipboard, and we're going to go into the next 2 weeks with completely new projects. That's the plan anyway. I went straight to plans. I haven't even done whips yet. So whips. So my big piece downstairs was Christmas Village. So this is where I'm up to on number 9. This is the post office. And I'm quite far along. I think maybe like almost a quarter. It's getting there. There is charted like a big Christmas tree on this kind of balcony here, and then on this side there's like an American flag. And I was thinking of changing the American flag to the Union flag, but we don't really put Union flags on our post offices, so I'm just gonna leave it. And it will have like beaded swags and stuff on, so it won't look completely empty up there, but I just won't have anything on the balconies, and that's okay. So yeah, this is Christmas Village. It's the Christmas Village series from Mill Hill that come in little kits with perforated paper, but I am doing them. I'm doing 12 of the houses on. This is 28 count dirty linen by Zweigart. So yeah, so there'll be 3 more to do at the bottom there. This piece of fabric's far too big for the whole thing. But yeah, and this is the first one I've had to. I'll just flash you this real quick. I'm highlighting the paper pattern. It's a working copy. Usually I would just do it all from sight and fill in. Like I would know the next bit to do, but for some reason this one kind of scuppered me. We were watching Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is fantastic. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it. And I stitched the wrong thing completely. And you can't stitch while watching that film, I will tell you now. So I had to do a load of frogging. So I made a working copy, and I've got my highlighter out, and I'm highlighting the beads in a different colour, so I know that bit is done for now, because I'm going to come back and bead everything. And it's helping a lot. I don't know why I didn't do it on the last 8, but there you go. I also wanted to show you, because I'm not sure the last time I showed this whip. It might be a while, so if you're newer to me. You might not know how I'm kind of organizing this. So Mill Hill kits, you get a lot of extra stuff. They give you tons of floss, tons of beads. And like I say, I'm not using the perforated paper. I'm doing it on the dirty linen so I can keep the perforated paper. The threads are just DMC. So the first, I think, 6 buildings, I used the thread and the beads. But going forward, they use a lot of the same colours, so I don't need to use the floss out of this one that I'm doing currently, which is Post Office. So let me show you all of these thread cards that I've got. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is all of the leftover threads from 6 or 7 kits, which is tons. And I went through before I started and picked the 12 that I'm doing and picked all of the DMC numbers and put them on here. So you can see each one is labelled with what they are, and like 437 doesn't have anything in right now, possibly because I haven't come across the that design that uses 437. Like none of the 9 that I've done so far uses 437. But there's so much left over, I don't need to use the threads that come with the kit. I can use these leftover ones, and if there is 1 or 2 colours that I've run out of or haven't appeared yet, I can sub it in with what I've got in my DMC stash. Therefore, I keep all of the thread bundle that you get with the kit. So I don't use the thread, I don't use the perforated paper. Beads are very much the same. You get a lot of leftovers. A lot of the same beads are reused in these kits. And I don't need to open those bead packets. So I can keep virtually the whole kit together. The only thing that I'll be using is the button, because this is the buttons and beads kit. So you get like a little snowman or a wreath or something. But they're very accessible. You can get those from just another button company very easily. So I can then pass on a whole kit without using the thread, using the beads. So a person that doesn't have the stash that I do, and especially doing lots of the kits, hasn't got lots of leftover thread, will be able to do the kit. And I mean, look at this is just the white that's left over. This is just all the extra. Now granted, in the designs that, like around the edges there's like snowfall, but I don't think it needs this much floss just to do all those stitches. So yeah, you get so much leftover. And I wouldn't necessarily put this back into my DMC stash, but I'd use 1 or 2 out of my DMC stash to fill this in, if that makes sense. I just wanted to explain that because I don't think I've shown this whip in a while. And to do lots of little kits together, if you're doing that might be something that you want to do. Or it might give you an idea for something else. I don't know. But it's just how I'm doing it. So yeah. So that was the progress on Christmas Village. And I'm going to put that one away now. And I used to be kind of, with those, I would want to finish the stitching. And possibly the back stitching, depending on what it was. Of one building before I put it away. But now that I'm highlighting on a paper pattern, I don't feel like I'm going to lose my place as much. So I'm happy to put that away and rotate everything at the same time. So yeah. So then so that's my big 11 by 11 piece. It's on 11 by 11 Q-snap, and I work on it downstairs. So then my 8 by 8 Q-snap piece that I work on up here in the office, I worked on cross patch. This lighting's terrible. So this is cross patch by Pixel Pixie X Stitch. This is on a piece of 32 count fabric that I dyed myself with Rit dye. It doesn't really have a name, but I call it like denim because it's that kind of blue. And I've done lots of color conversions. So this, the letters here are done in a Karen Wildflowers, which is it's a cotton, but it's like a thick twisted 1-ply cotton. But just the variegation is just beautiful. And then I think the purples I kept as the DMC. The green and the red in the border, I just picked out a random overdyed that I had in stash. It's a bit of a mixed bag, and honestly I wasn't sure how it was going to go. Because the model is stitched on a piece of very dark fabric. And this, in terms of like, because I see this border as like being out in the forest. So this is your outside, and then inside with the cup of tea, you're inside. This is just my vision. I don't know if that's the vision of the designer, but this is how I look. So to me, it was being inside on a dark night. To me, this is like twilight, just as like the sun setting. You're kind of coming home from work, but maybe on like a chilly autumn afternoon. In terms of the color of the sky. Am I talking absolute nonsense here? I don't know. I didn't know how all these colours would kind of marry together. I don't think it's showing up very well on the screen. But I am now loving it. I think my favourite is the mushroom so far. This little mushroom here and this little mushroom here. So in the chart, it's kind of charted 2 different colours, one for the cap and one for the stem. And what I've chosen, and I'm just stitching it all together, is Cottage Garden Thread Citronelle. And it's that like green to the beige to like the silver. And even when it was like wrapped up, I can't do it now. It was just perfect. And I loved it. And I didn't think the other parts would marry up so well, but it really is. I think the juxtaposition is good. This flower is annoying me because it's out of place, but I think I'll just leave it. But this in Pattern Keeper, this is 25% done. So I'm going to leave it as such. And quite happy with the progress because it sat for quite a while not having any progress, and I like it. So if you want the full conversion, I can give it to you, but it's not how it's charted. Some of it is, some of it isn't, and it may look different on different fabric. So that was cross patch. Then only the other day, I had a new start. So this is Arcadia by Satsuma Street. And like a lot of things I've started recently, I've had this chart a while. So I'll put a picture of what it's meant to look like up. But you probably know it. It's a small world, basically. So I saw it whenever I saw it a million years ago and just thought, it's a small world. But it's not, because it's not, it doesn't have the clock face or whatever. But no, it is like on their website, maybe not their Etsy, I didn't check their Etsy. On their website, the description is just it's a small world after all. So it's a small world inspired. And if you don't know, I used to work at Disney World in Florida. This is the original It's a Small World that's in California. But when I was a young lass and I worked in Florida, we got free entry to Disneyland California. So me and my friend flew over there for next to nothing and got to play in Disneyland for free. So I love It's a Small World at Disneyland. I love the show that was on there. So yeah. So this is Arcadia by Satsuma Street. This is a piece of linen by Coffee Craft Fabrics, Megan. And I don't think it had a name. I think I got it at the Floss Friends retreat that I went to last November. I think it's just a 32 count. Pretty sure. And it's blue, but it's got these like white specks in it, so it looks like wispy clouds, which I thought was nice for California. The design is on a blue, maybe a shade darker blue than what I've got, but I thought it was perfect. So yeah, stitching as called for, even with the DMC light effects, which is crazy, I know. But so this is, I think this is about halfway widthwise, and then this is about halfway height-wise. So my plan was just to kind of, because it's all very blocky as you see by the picture, so just fill in this corner and then move the Q-snap along. But it was on my whip board because I kind of kitted it up and put it in a project bag. But I hadn't started it, but like my whip board thought I had started it, so I had to start it. So that's the 3 things that I worked on. I have my tiny paintings that I showed you 2 weeks ago, and I haven't made any more progress on that because I've had a busy couple of weeks, like last week at work, and then the start of this week I've been on holiday, so I haven't been at my desk to stitch it. But I got a fair start on it, so I'm gonna switch it out for my other desk project. So when I get back to work, I can work on that. So yeah, so that was my whips haul. I finally got the right light bracket for my Lowry. I got a partial refund for my other one because they didn't give me the refund for the shipping and then charged me to ship it back. So I'm out of pocket there, but hey ho. I again, another reason to like double check, is this the one that you wanted? Because you've not ordered the right, anyway. I got some Nashville haul through finally, because I was a pain, and I placed a pre-order with Peakside Needlecrafts, and then after the fact, or when Nashville was on, I saw another pattern that I wanted, but they'd already issued my invoice, so I had to wait until they did another invoice for me, so it was my fault. So this is what they kind of, so the two that I wanted initially were October House Fiber Arts, Snip Snip, and then the Itch to Stitch. And I only wanted to get small ones because I don't need anything big right now. But those ones just spoke to me. And I'm going to make them into little pillows, little long pillows, and put in my little dough bowl like that when I get round to it. And then I had ordered the floss pack, silk pack for X Stitch the Rainbow Tea Time. And I'd seen a couple PDF patterns that I wanted. So I think I know I've downloaded at least Wild Violets. I think there's some others on my list. But then I saw Ink Circles, Tea Berry Tile. And this is not coming out as a PDF. This was just, well, for a while at least, this is just going to be in paper pattern. So managed to get Sue at Peakside to pick me up a copy of that and charge me the right money for it, and I got it finally. So a little bit of late Nashville haul, but I'm very happy with it, and I'm loving these silks. They're very nice. I'm excited to stitch with them. So that was all my haul, apart from I have bought the full pack for Hearts for Pam Cottage Garden threads. I love Cottage Garden threads since X Stitch the Rainbow. Autumn Garden introduced me to them, and it's a great cause, and we all get some stitchy goodness out of it. So yeah, so it's not coming till what, July? But I don't mind. By that time I'll have forgotten the money that I spent on it, and it'll be just a nice surprise. So that's how I'm justifying that one. So yeah, then planned. March is nearly over. Is today the last day of March? 30 days past September, April. No, tomorrow. So we should get, Stitch Dad should update the Google Sheet soon with April's stuff. But I did all my learning for March. The stitching prompt was Stitch Asia, but as I said before, I don't have anything, and I didn't want to start anything, so I've just skipped the stitching prompt, but I've done my learning, and that's the important bit. So yeah, excited to see what April brings us, and also excited to get Statement 2 when it comes out. Dee's got a lot of work to do, and we love them for it. So that'll be as soon as that comes out, I'll be stitching that separate to my usual rotation, because that needs doing, and then I'll start. I got that pom-pom string. I'll start piecing it together because it's going to be ongoing. So just to pick, we'll see how this works now. Okay, didn't knock anything over. So if you don't know, this is my little whip board. I have my 11 by 11 projects that I work downstairs, my 8x8 that I work on up here, and then my 6x6 that I work on at my desk while I'm working. So yeah, let's have a look. So 11x11. So my only other one that is on this board and hadn't started is Cabin in the Woods. So I'm going to take that one downstairs and get a start on that one. So that's what I'm doing with the Mrs. Sadie's conversion, and I'm very excited. 8x8, so I've got Prim Animals and Singer Sampler to do. I think I'll do Singer Sampler because last time I had it out, I was just figuring out what colour conversion to do, and now I've pretty much got a full colour conversion, so we'll just get a start on that. And then I'll put my tiny paintings away and I'll gather here for my 6x6. So Cabin in the Woods, Singer Sampler, and Gather Here will be on the list next. Okay, I like it being there. Good access. Not really any life updates. Apart from we're on holiday this week, and I think today's the first day that I felt reset. Ready to be unreset by work next week. But there you go. Such is life. But trying to hold on to that feeling a little bit longer than I usually do. So yeah, 5 of Wands. Maybe it looks like a struggle from the outside, but it's just growth. That's all it is. I will see you in about 2 weeks' time. I love you. Bye.